Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jolene and I'm the author of the Glory MC series as well as the Moonrise Beach series. So I have come on here today to do a plan with me in my Hobonichi cousin. So this is going to be the very first plan with me in my new 2022 avec. So I moved away from the full year and I moved into an avec this year just because I wanted something that was a little bit more lighter. I felt like having the full year got quite heavy as the year progressed, and I wasn't really needing to look at the daily pages as much as I thought I did. So I moved into the avec, so this only has January to June in here, and then the second book will have July to December. And I'm using this planner as a pre-planner for work. So just a little bit about me if you guys don't know, I am a romance author. I also work as an assistant to several best-selling romance authors, and so that is what I'm tracking in here. I'm also tracking things for my shop, which is Jolene Printables on Etsy. It's a printable shop that specializes in Hobonichi printables, so kind of like things like this. I have like calendars available. This is the 2-page yearly calendar for the Hobonichi cousin, and I have like a Monday and Sunday start available. This right here is my minimal font, so it's the simple font. I also have like a cutesy font, and that one is called the Sassy font this year. And then I have two colorways, so I have pink and gray. I have made last year's designs still available, so obviously not the calendars, but like the trackers and all that kind of stuff. So like things like this, like the grid pages that you see, I have important dates. I made those available again for you guys in case you guys want to kind of have more variation in your printables. So these are just some of the examples of the printables that I sell for the Hobonichi cousin, but I also have it for the weeks as well as the A6 techo size. And then I also sell ring bound inserts as well. So that kind of information will go in here as well. And then also I have a YouTube channel, which obviously you're watching right now, so that kind of planning also does make its way in here. I do wear a lot of different hats, and so I need a place where I can jot down all those important events before it actually happens so that I don't forget about it. So that is what this is for. I do have a separate kind of work planner that is an A5 planner, and that is my writing planner, so that goes into the more nitty-gritty stuff. This is mostly tasks and events and that kind of stuff. In the past I have not really journaled in here. I don't take notes in here either, but that may be something I do this year. I don't know yet. We'll see how the year goes, but in the past I haven't done that. But it may become necessary in this planner. I do have a full setup of this planner already, kind of going through everything that I have in the pockets and how I set it up. I have done a lot of decorating already because, like I said, this is a pre-planner, so I like to have everything kind of pre-decorated in advance, so it just makes it easier when something gets confirmed. I can just pop it in here so I don't forget. So we're gonna fill out the daily section here. So I have this available in my shop. This is one of my printables, so I have it in the simple font with the pink colorway, but I do have it in a sassy version, which is the more cutesy font, and a gray colorway, so you can kind of mix and match the options there in my shop. And this is my this month kind of dashboard, that at least that's what I'm using it for. So I printed it out on sticker paper, and then I used a paper trimmer to just trim around it so it fits within the pages of the cousin. So it's a little bit smaller. It's intentionally done that way so that it's a little bit easier to put down when you're using sticker paper. But if you don't have sticker paper, you can just print it out on regular paper. I have done that as well. I print it regularly at 100% because it's already sized correctly, and then just use a paper trimmer to cut it. You don't need a special sticker cutter or like a cameo or a silhouette in order to use my printables. You can even just use a pair of scissors if you're really good in that way, just to cut it, because it is just 4 straight sides. But I have just stuck that down here, and what I'm going to be using this for is my monthly dashboard. So what I've done beforehand is I've just added this script text. This is from Prince Petticoat Bandit, and I added this week sticker. So I have one for each week, and this is how I'm using the 4 quadrants here at the bottom. So I just put week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And the reason why I'm doing this is because if you guys remember last year, I had 2 columns kind of like this before that I kind of made myself bullet journal style. And I had one that was important dates and goals. And in the important dates, I wrote down in chronological order the events that are happening that month. And that was great because I like to check it off as the month goes on. However, I found that because it was in a list format like this, if something got confirmed late, then it wasn't in chronological order anymore. I had to add it to the bottom, and that kind of confused me sometimes. So I found a way around that, and this is how I'm using it. So I just have all the events happening in week 1 in this box, all the events happening in week 2 in here, etc. So I have left space in between so that if anything else pops up, then I can add it in the right order, and I think that will help me stay more organized. You do have this to-do list section, which I am going to fill out today, and then in this extra notes box section, I'm actually going to keep track of the projects that I work on each month. So last year I had a whole like important dates insert, something similar to this, that I tracked that information, but instead of having it here, I'm going to move it up here so that I can keep track of what projects I'm working on. So let's fill this out, and then we'll also fill out some of the daily pages in here. I am going to use it kind of the same way as last year, but I am going to be adding a little bit more detail to the daily pages. So I'm just going to grab my utensils that I normally use. So I use a Pentel Energel Clena. I also use this pen a lot. This is what I use to letter. This is the Kokoro Zig pen. I'll leave a link to this down below. And then I also use the Uniball Signo RT in the 0.38 often. So I'm going to pull that out, and then the Tombow marker that I'm using is this one. I use that to make the little swatches here, and the color is 620. It's a really nice like lilac, which I love. And then I also do often use these kind of acrylic clips. I have these from a bunch of different shops, but I just like to use it just to hold down my pages like that, so that it doesn't move too much. But I am going to get started. As you guys can see, I have already written down my important dates because, like I said, this is a pre-planner. So as soon as things get confirmed, I write it in immediately. But in this to-do section, I am just going to write down a running list of things that I want to complete in the month of January. So that is going to include any personal things as well as work things. So one of the things that I need to actually finish that I didn't complete from last year is the 3rd draft of one of the books that I am working on for my new series. So I'm just going to mark that down here. And then I have to work on an outline of the next book in that series, which I have already started, so I can actually check that off right away. I do also have to do a cover reveal for my next book that is actually coming out in March. So I'm actually a little bit late on that. Normally I would have the cover reveal already done, so I need to really focus on this. And then also I am going to start the 1st draft of the next book in the series, the one that I just finished outlining. So those are my kind of work tasks. This will probably take me the whole entire month to do. Since I am a romance author, a draft can typically take me 1 month to complete. So that is going to be my work goals. And then also I need to set up my goals bullet journal, which is something that I do in a B6 Stalogy. If you guys would like me to share that with you, I can definitely do that. Just let me know. And then I also want to just write down that I have to do my monthly wrap up. This is something that I do at the end of the month to kind of close off and reflect on the month before we start the next month. So these are just some kind of personal goals that I like to remember. So these are just reminders that I want to be able to check off at the end of the month. And then I also have a ton more space for anything else that will pop up. So I love that there's so much room in this one dashboard. And then in here, like I said, I am going to be using it for my projects. So what I want to do is I'm just going to make a little swatch here with the Tombow, and I'm just going to hand letter projects in here. And then, so I know that the main project will be this first draft. And since it is going to be a first draft, I know that it will take me the whole entire month. I tend to take my time with the first draft. So that will be the very first project that I work on for this month. Then anything else that comes up will be added to this list. So I have a ton of room here. I have made the kind of boxes a little bit small so that you have a ton of room to fill out. It makes things a lot more functional for me. So that is how I'm going to be using this monthly dashboard. Once again, if you guys are interested in this printable, then you can find it in my shop, Jolene Printables, and feel free to use the code SAVE10 to save 10% off of your order. So now let's move on to the daily pages. So in the daily pages, I use as my daily to-do list. So this is something that I don't typically fill out until the day of or the day before, other than the events. So the only thing that I will pre-plan are the events that are happening this week. So I can see over here that I have my dad's birthday during week 1, as well as a work event. So technically the 1st of January and the 2nd is part of the previous week. So that's why I have already put it in here. But once we get started on Monday, I can see that I already added the work event here. I've also added my dad's birthday. So these are things that I know are already happening. They're kind of like scheduled. So I have put those in there already. So now let us get started with my to-do list. So I like to use this column here as my daily to-do list. If you guys look closely, you guys can see that there are some built-in checklists in here, and I do utilize this. I use this for my job as an author. So since I am a romance author and I work for several other romance authors as well, sometimes our work schedules can kind of intermingle. We do a lot of the same things, and so I needed a way for me to kind of have their stuff at a glance on my daily pages, but still have it separate. So that is what I'm using this top section for. So I'm just going to be writing down the tasks that I need to do for the other authors so that I can see it on my daily page, but have it still separate from my personal one so that I don't get confused. So I'm going to fill that in first at the top. So these can be, you know, reoccurring events, day-specific events, day-specific tasks, things like that I often have to do as part of my responsibilities. So I am just going to fill that in here at the top, and I'm going to do that for the rest of the week. So as you guys can see, I have just added all my to-dos there at the very top, so that it's there, but it's not taking up space in my other to-do list. And then let's get started by filling out my personal to-do list. So I am going to fill out just the Saturday and Sunday very quickly before jumping into the Monday, which is where the week starts. So this plan with me really is for this week, so January 3rd until the 9th. So let's get started with that. So actually on Monday I don't have any events yet, so that's why I have this blank here. However, I do have a cousin plan with me going up, and that is actually going to go up at 9. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to grab some of these translucent dot stickers, and I am just going to choose this lightest color here, and I'm just going to pop it on the 9 o'clock spot because that is when that video is scheduled to go up. So that is actually the video that you're watching right now. So I have that written down here, and anything else that gets scheduled for the day will be marked down, and I'm going to be using these translucent dot stickers to do that. These are from Ariebea shop. I do have a PR code, so you guys can use that down below. It's Anna Jolene 10. And then now let's start to fill out my to-do list. So on this day, I do have to prepare for next week. I have an event coming up that I need to be ready for. So I need to do a blog post and also a newsletter for that day. So I want to make sure that they are scheduled and ready to go. So I'm keeping everything very functional and simple because one of my things for 2022 is I want to keep my planners and journals very, very neat. It doesn't necessarily have to be minimal, but I just want everything to be neat. I think last year I really kind of let myself go and let myself be too messy in my journals and planners, and as a result I just found it to be a little bit overwhelming. And so I think I'm gonna go more minimal, more simple this year. So moving on to Tuesday, I already have my to do for an author. I need to post a teaser for her, but I also have an event for my books. So Bad at Love, which is my latest book, is going to be on sale this day. So if you guys are interested in picking up this book, then you can find it on Amazon. It's actually free on Kindle Unlimited as well. So definitely check it out if you guys are interested. But I have that event already scheduled, so that's why it's already here. But there are some things that I need to do on this particular day for this event. So that includes doing the promo. I also have to send out a newsletter as well as do a blog post to let people know about the sale. So this is the first sale that I'm doing on this new book, so I know a lot of people are going to be interested in it. So that is why I need to do all this promotion to let people know. There is another newsletter that I need to do that will be going out on a different day. So I just want to make sure that I also have that event scheduled for Tuesday. And then I have a lot of space here and I leave it open so that I can continue to write down those to-dos in chronological order. As you guys can see, I've also kind of skipped lines, and I do that purposely. I guess it's part of my thinking as an author. We always skip lines so that when we edit, we have space to kind of write down what those corrections are. So I'm kind of doing the same thing here. So if there is something that kind of pops up after the fact, I can go ahead and make a little mark here and make that little note for one of these to-dos. So I just like to do that. Keeps things also really airy and neat, which I prefer. Okay, on Wednesday I do have a newsletter that is set to go out this day. So let's grab a little sticker, and that is going out at 11. So I will put that on the 11 o'clock spot, and I will write down that newsletter that needs to go out. And then in my to-do section, again, I do want to just mark down that I want to film a few videos. So I want to film my January plan with me, my monthly, which I haven't done yet. Usually I have that done already, but I haven't had a chance to actually print out the kit that I'm using yet. So I need to print it out first, and then I will film that video. And then I also have a winter A5 wide setup that I have been working on, and I want to film now that Christmas is over. So I just want to share that with you guys. So that is everything for Wednesday that I have planned. On Thursday here, I do typically visit my mom in the morning. So I am going to mark that down here. So that takes up usually my whole entire morning. And then I also really need to write reviews. I have been slacking on this, and so if I can have a reminder often throughout the week, then that is great, because this is something that I want to make a routine. So hopefully on every Thursday I can write the reviews and then send it to my editor on the Friday, so that way, you know, she has the weekend to look over them. So that is what I have here. I also have a what's in my bag video scheduled to go up on this day. So I usually post on Thursdays and Sundays, and occasionally on Mondays as well. So I just want to mark that down. So I'm going to mark that at the 9 o'clock spot once again. I am switching up my bags because it is winter now, so we have a lot of snow, and that means that I have to change the kind of things that I have to carry with me due to the weather. But that is everything for Thursday. Oh, I do want to mark down that I need to take the bins out, so it is trash day. So I'm just going to mark that down there, and maybe I'll put an extra icon or something later on. But I don't have my sticker book with me. And then now let's move on to Friday. On Friday, I really need to get on my author fan page and work on the scheduling there, because I've been slacking on that. So I really need to do that. And then also I've been meaning to design a gratitude journal for my Etsy shop. So this is something that I am brainstorming. I'm possibly going to put it on Amazon as well. So if you guys are interested, then let me know what you guys would like to see in a gratitude journal. I'm also thinking about doing one for scripture and that kind of stuff. So let me know if that is something that you guys are interested in. But that is everything for Friday. And then Saturday. Saturday is actually my dad's birthday, so I'm not going to have any work to do on this day, and I typically don't try to work on the weekends, so I keep Saturday and Sunday a little bit more free and have more personal to-dos. I do use these 2 pages for more personal tasks, so I'll still fill it out, but it's not necessarily like work tasks all the time. So I actually have a birthday party happening for my dad. He doesn't know about it yet, but I do have food that is going to be coming and that kind of stuff, and just a small party with 5 people. So that is basically the only thing that's going to be happening on that day. And then on Sunday, I do have to catch up on my chores, because normally I would do that on a Saturday, but since we're having the party, I'm going to have to move it to Sunday now. So I need to do the laundry. I also need to vacuum, water the plants, that kind of stuff. And then also on Saturday, I actually usually journal and take some time in the morning to print out my pictures for the week and also write down my memories. But since we are having the party on this day, I'm going to move it to the Sunday this time. And then also on Sunday, I do have my memory plan with me going up at 9. So I am going to mark that in once again with a dot sticker. So there we go. I have all my little to-do lists. I have my videos kind of plugged in there, and everything is still very minimal. As you guys can see, I have a ton of room to write down my extra notes and that kind of stuff. So that is great. The only other thing that I want to add is that I said that one of my projects was to work on the first draft of this book. I'm going to kind of push myself to get that started on this day. And I will repeat this task on all the days until Friday, so that I have kind of scheduled in that writing time. I know that a lot of you guys are writers who are watching this video. If you guys have any questions on my writing kind of schedule and what I do to complete my books, then just leave them down below. But as you guys can see, I leave myself quite a lot of extra room. I don't decorate all too much. I have just added a few kind of bits and pieces here. But I don't want to bulk up this planner too much, even though this is in a back. I just prefer a kind of more minimal look, a very open look. Like I said, I am trying to keep my journals and planners more neater than I have in the past, and so I think this is going to work really well. I think especially having this page with the 4 quadrants and how I've set it up like this will be very, very useful for me. So I just like to check things off, and so having these kind of like lists kind of broken down into smaller lists I think will help me with that. But I'll just give you a glimpse of my January here. So here on my monthly, I just use these box stickers to mark down all the confirmed events, and then anything else that's unconfirmed will go on a sticky note. This sticky note is from Rose Colored Days. I do have a referral link to Rose Colored Days, so you can find that down below. These stickers here are all from Ariebea shop, and I just have some Simply Gilded washi tape there. I have used Passport washi for all of the months, which I think is really fun. And I have a referral link to Simply Gilded as well, so you can find that down below. But anything that is unconfirmed, like for example, I don't know what day I want to do the cover reveal for One and Only yet, but I would like to ideally do it on one of these Mondays that I have free. So once I figure that out, then I will plug this date in with one of these stickers and then transfer it to my daily pages. But this is how I'm keeping my work planner very, very functional and neat. I'm going for a more minimal look this year, so hopefully I'm able to keep up with it. I will be stickering up the weekly sections, and I have actually kind of done a little bit of pre-planning already. I just put down the base of my weeks because I like to section off different areas, but this is how I'm going to be using it. So this is what the current week looks like, and I will be filling this in. But yeah, that is basically how I'm going to be using the daily pages of my Hobonichi. If you guys have any questions, then leave them down below. And if you guys are interested in these printables from my shop, once again, you guys can use the code SAVE10 to save 10% off of your order. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!